Self-defense or revenge? That's what a jury will have to decide in a stand your ground case over in Nevada. You got 74-year-old Wayne Bergolo. He is facing murder charges after shooting two trespassers, one fatally. The pair were not in his home, but in a vacant rental unit that he owns. Joining us right now for a legal debate is Eric Schwarzreich. He's a criminal defense attorney, and Robert Bianchi's here. He's a prosecutor and says he was not in his right. So, Robert, where do you stand on this?
I think this is going to be an easy guilty verdict. This is not part of what the stand your ground law is. This man went out with two guns in his hand, two guns out with another friend of his that told him that there may be somebody in that lot. These people were sleeping and they were executed, essentially. There was no weapon found. He was not in any fear or any danger. And we have to remember the stand your ground law says that there still has to be a fear of serious bodily injury resulting in death or death before you can take this action. So I think he's well outside even the stand your ground law.
So Robert thinks he understands, Eric, what fear is. What do you think?
I think he's absolutely within the stand your ground law. There's three things that have to be present. Number one, he has to be in a place he has a legal right to be in. This is his property. Doesn't matter that he doesn't own it, but it's his rental unit. Number two, that he's not doing anything illegal. He is going in his property and checking to see if his property is okay. And number three, that he is not the aggressor. Bergolo is not the aggressor in this case. He was doing nothing but standing his ground, and he thought that the individuals in the house had a gun. Even though they were reaching for a flashlight, as the facts in this case determine, that does not matter. The danger does not need to be actual or real. It's what Bergolo believed, and he believed that these individuals were going to harm him, and they were in his house.
Right.
He had a right to meet force and no duty what to retreat whatsoever. Absolutely no duty to retreat, and I think this is an easy not guilty.
Wow.
Yeah, but here's the issue here.
Go ahead, Robert.
Here's the issue here. He is the aggressor. He went there. He didn't call the police. He confronted these individuals, and it is clear from the statement that he gave that he indicated he didn't want them to leave. It doesn't give you license to go in, and when two individuals are sleeping, and that issue about the flashlight is something that factually is going to have to be determined by the jury, but his belief has to be reasonable. It has to be objectively reasonable.
And the whole thing about property owner is very curious, isn't it, Eric?
Well, Brian, nowhere in the law is it going to say that it's a rental, that it's an owner, if it's your rental property, if it's a property that you own. The bottom line is this was his own property. He was not the aggressor here. He was in his rights. You know, there's a saying that the police were seconds away, but they took minutes to get there. What is Mr. Bergolo to do? He is allowed to go into his house. He's allowed to go into his house armed. He's allowed to bear arms. He was within his rights in this case.
Robert and Eric, you both put persuasive arguments together, and the jury will have to decide. Thanks so much.
You got it.